Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Alexander. I write under the pen name Sarah Fisher, and I am an author and a blogger. My blog is called Kiss at Midnight Reviews, and I run that with Kelsey McKnight, and we basically do reviews with books that the main character is over at the age of 16. And we're also really obsessed with Outlander, so there tend to be a lot of posts about that. If you're interested in a book review, you can just look at our blog. There is a contact section, and all the instructions are there. My book is called Elton Hall Chronicles, first semester. It's a new adult book, and if you're interested in details about that, there are some sneak peeks on the blog, and we're going to be continuing to update that until spring of 2017 when the book comes out. Okay, the highlight of being an author and a blogger, free books. No, I'm just kidding. The writing community is actually really great. There are so many people who are willing to support you and offer advice, and I didn't realize how nice authors were. I thought they were kind of this like celebrity, untouchable, like type person, but actually everyone that I've tried to contact or have contacted me has been really nice and supportive. So I think that so far has definitely been the highlight of being an author or a blogger. What to do when I lack motivation. So Kelsey and I started the blog, and we were going like gangbusters for a while. I think we were reading 5 to 6 books a week and doing 7 to 8 posts each a week for the blog, and we quickly died out fast, and now we've slowed down to 1 blog post for the both of us a day. And motivation was getting to be a problem because, you know, I do have a husband and a house and a full-time job and a lot of other things. Oh yeah, and I'm writing a book that can really compete with blogging and compete with writing and reviewing. And I found that when I lack motivation, sometimes it's time to take a step back, maybe watch some TV, maybe spend some time with friends, maybe remind myself that I don't have to be connected to a book or a computer all day long. And I found that I actually, once I had that break, maybe 2 days or something, that I was really willing to get back. I missed it. So I guess when I lack motivation, taking a step back helps. You know, I guess you could always like handcuff your hand to the keyboard if that doesn't work for you, but I haven't had that problem yet. How did I get into it? So this is a bit of a funny story. I had a massive surgery in January, and I was out of work for 6 weeks, and I think this is the longest I've ever been out of work, and I was bored. So I sat down and wrote the first draft of my novel that is being published while on pain pills. Needless to say, there were sentences missing. There were words that didn't actually exist. It was pretty funny when I read it the first time, but that really got me going because I had the time to write, and since then I've edited it. It makes a lot more sense now. But I guess the biggest thing, I really needed to show it to somebody, and I showed it to Kelsey first, and that got me writing more because I didn't just do it in my room with the door closed and the music blaring so that no one actually knew what I was doing. So that really helped me. Showing it to somebody else really got me into writing, and blogging just kind of happened as a happy accident. I just decided one day that I really like reading books and I really like reviewing and writing, and I thought this would be a fun way to do them both while I wait for this book to be published, and you know, we'll see what happens with it. Advice. I would say the best thing that I can give you for advice would be to keep writing. I'm pretty sure everything I ever put on paper sucks. I don't like it. I don't like my main characters. I don't like my villains. I don't like any of it. And I just keep writing, and I keep going through it because you never know what it can turn into. You never know if you'll get that moment of epiphany when you find something that actually was really good in the midst of a whole bunch of crap. So just keep trying and keep going. And as for promoting, join groups, comment on other people's things, try and collaborate. The best thing you can really do is to contact other people outside of your circle to try and get into their circle, because there's only so much you can do in your circle of friends or people you know or relatives or fans. You need to look into other people's circles. Okay, what do I do? In my spare time, I'm actually a background investigator for the government. I do background investigations for people who need security clearances. So, kind of polar opposites. But I studied criminal justice in college, and I like being part of that system. My favorite book. I don't have a favorite book. I guess you could say that's cheating a little bit, but I have 3 favorite authors, if that counts. My favorite authors are Jennifer Probst, Catherine Bybee, and Elizabeth Hoyt. So there's 2 contemporary romances for you, and Elizabeth Hoyt is the most amazing historical romance author I've ever read in my life. For a really long time, I was really into Mary Higgins Clark too, if you like suspense. Okay, my book boyfriend. Okay, so I think I get a new one with every book I read, but my favorite, I think, ever would probably be The Ghost of St. Giles from Elizabeth Hoyt. She has this whole series about the ghost of St. Giles going around the ghetto of London, and it's amazing. And I have to say that The Ghost of St. Giles is definitely my book boyfriend. I wish I lived in that time and he could save me from goons or gin runners or all the terrible things that are going on in the underbelly of London. My favorite heroine. Okay, so my favorite heroine, it changes a lot also, but I think it would have to be every heroine that Jennifer Probst has written. Okay, that's a lot, but she has this one book series called, it's the Married to a Billionaire series, and I like all of the women that star in those books, but my favorite is introduced in book 2, Mama Conte. She is the matriarch of an Italian family, and she's amazing. I think she's brilliant and sneaky, and I'd love to learn to cook from her. So I think Mama Conte, I guess, is my favorite heroine if I had to pick one individual, and she's not really a heroine, she's kind of a side character. But anyone in the Jennifer Probst Married to a Billionaire series definitely counts as my favorite heroine. Villain. Villain takes a whole new turn point for me because I study criminal justice. I really like villains. I really appreciate villains. I really appreciate what it takes to write a villain. The Surgeon books by Rizzoli, with Rizzoli and Isles by Tess Gerritsen, are actually my favorites. I read them back before they were a TV series and couldn't sleep the first night after I read The Surgeon, the first book, because I couldn't get over how clever that villain was, and how the fact that he could actually probably be real, which I think is, a good thing to have in a villain, believability. But he's definitely up there in one of my favorite villains. My other favorite would be from a book, You Belong to Me by Mary Higgins Clark. I really like the villain in that. I think I read that for the first time 10 years ago. And to this day, he still freaks me out. So I have to say that that's obviously a really good villain. Okay, and a message to readers. All right, so I just want to say thank you for taking time to watch this, for looking at these sites, for taking a stop by our blog, and just for paying attention. Without readers, there would be no point in being a writer, and that would be really sad because I actually really enjoy writing. I enjoy reading, obviously, too. But please stop by our blog or our Facebook page, A Kiss at Midnight Reviews, or you can find me on Facebook, Sarah Alexander. And I'd love to hear what you're reading or what you're looking into. You can also find me at Twitter. That's SARH Alexander7 at Twitter, or Instagram, SALizzie90, or Kiss at Midnight Reviews. We also have an Instagram. All right, thank you very much.